Welcome to Grounded Talks. I'm Sam Perkins, licensed therapist and lover of coffee, and someone who believes the best conversations happen when you slow down long enough to get grounded. Each week, we'll pour a fresh cup and dive into the ideas that shape how we think, feel, and show up, from mental health to real life balance. So grab your mug, take a deep breath, and let's get grounded. Oh man, Raashan, we are
What's going
here. We've
on?
been talking about doing this for, it has to be at least 10 years.
It's been a minute, man. I want to say since you decided to take on this journey.
Yeah, man. So we're here. We're going to be talking a dope conversation. Before we ever begin, I want to make sure we say Happy Father's Day to all of the men.
Yes.
There are some dads that constantly show up for their children. Maybe they're in the home, maybe they're even out of home, co-parenting, doing it really well. But Happy Father's Day to the men.
Absolutely.
Also, it's Black. I mean, it's not Black. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And the reason why you caught me saying it's Black is because I'm thinking about the mental health of just Black men, Black fathers, Black dudes. So often we run away from therapy. So often we run away from mental health. And so we're going to just dive into a conversation today just about just life. But I have to start, man. I've known you, and I was seventh grade. Seventh grade, you 8th grade. I just want to reminisce for a second as we just go back to.
Go ahead, because I want to know what your earliest memory is.
Man,
I know mine.
My earliest memory is this 8th grader who's supposed to be faster than me. And as an athlete, the athlete in me is like, nah, there's no way this dude, I'm competitive. I'm like, nah. But I was watching from afar going, man, this dude's talented. Like, he can sing. He over here dancing. I'm like, I got to be able to beat him in something. And man, I remember in 7th grade going, yeah, like, I have to get to those records he's already doing. I'm in 7th, you breaking the records in 8th going, man, I got to catch something. And so that's my earliest memory, is looking up and going, yeah, I just want to follow behind somebody who's already setting the tone.
Did you know how special that time was? Us going to Stanton Middle School and things.
I don't even know if I thought about it that way. Like now, because if you think about it, as a 7th grader, me and you are the first people to actually walk in the halls.
Yes.
So you're the first 8th graders. I'm the first 7th grader coming from Davie. And so you don't think about it being special. You just happy you're not in this old broke building that's been around for years. And so we're entering this building, and man, there was an energy back then.
It was.
There was it
was fresh.
It was fresh. It's fresh. We had new tracks. Yeah, it was dope. So I didn't think in a moment, I didn't think about it.
You was just in it.
I was just in it. But when you reflect, you're like, this was crazy. Yep. This was dope, because everything we did, everybody comes back from, like, we're the first generation of that school. We can always say, like, we're the first people to walk the halls of that school. It's a cool thing to say, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. What's your first memory? I'm interested.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, 8th grade was kind of a blur, but my first memory of you, I was walking with my man Alex, and I don't know if y'all remember the grocery store Apples. I'm dating myself, but dude, we was walking in front of Apples, and I heard Raashan, and I looked up, turned around, and I seen you run down the street, ran to me. You said, "I beat your record, sucker," and then took off running. And I looked at I looked at Alex like, who was that? And he was like, this dude named Sam. He supposed to be like the fastest dude in the city. I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't even know I had a record. That's why I asked you that question. I didn't even know I had a record up there.
Man, that's crazy.
So I didn't know that, that's why I didn't know how special that time was. So much so that, years later, my niece is running for Stanton.
Yeah.
And she calls me and she goes, Uncle Raashan, you got a record up here. And I said, huh? So, I said, what's it in? It's still, I think it's on the 4x2.
Yeah.
Me, Chris Banks, you.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still up there to this day. And that was That was special, man. That was
Man.
special. I didn't know that we were the generation to set the tone.
Yeah, there's nobody else who has like everything we did that year was a record.
Yeah.
Like there's no like the tone of the whole that generation starts from there
Yeah, I wish
because
somebody
it's
would have really told me that, man. I
man.
wonder if I would have been a little more intentional, you know?
During that season, during that season, during that season, I definitely wasn't intentional, but I think that the freedom we had in that season was we were like, "Hey, just live." I think it's a when you're younger, man, you have the ability not to think about like as adults, we think about like I got work to do, I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
That season was just like I wasn't thinking about I got to get into college or scholarships. I was thinking about I just want to have fun. And at the moment, I'm laughing because I remember running up and going, "Yeah, I beat that," but it was an honor to me to go, I was chasing after something. There, like, I think that's the thing that's about me. I'm always pushing towards something that's gonna make me be successful.
Yeah.
And so it even though like, I've moved places and came back, I'm always like, he has always been a bar,
Mm.
that I could honestly chase behind.
That's all glory to
Somebody that's
God.
like,
Yeah.
yo, like iron sharpens iron. That season was
Yeah.
like, yo, he's killing. Nah, if I can catch that. But I think that chase leads us into high school.
Yes.
And by the time, we're in high school and we're training, going through, I mean, freshman year, going through just whack coaching. My your sophomore year, my
Yeah.
freshman year, going like, who is this dude
Yeah.
coaching us that he just collecting the check. We doing
Yeah, man.
workouts that don't make sense and we're living that. But I remember all the things from football to basketball to track that we were trying to like navigate. And it's always a memory to me because I remember going, there's only a few people who I felt like, yo, no, I was pushed in
Oh,
that season of my
yeah.
life. Like, no, I'm being pushed to something that's going to get me out of this place. I think I told this story before, but at sixth grade, I was told, hey, we can't, my mom told me, I can't pay for your school. So if you're going to college, you're going to have to get a scholarship.
Gotta be a scholarship.
There's
Yeah.
no way else that we're going to get there. And it's kind of something that's wild to hear as a 11 or 12-year-old kid, but it becomes a thing that drives me throughout, you know, middle school, definitely high school. You're getting there is going, well, let me surround myself with people. And I don't know if you recognize this. I realize the 5 or 6 guys we're around, there's no dudes. There's only one dude that's around. Ends up becoming my college coach. He's the only male around that's Coach Webb. And he's traveling back and forth because he's coaching at Pitt at one point.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
started at Kent, he leaves. And so realistically, it's 5, 6 mothers surrounding us going, hey, we gotta figure this out. And I'm thinking, my mom she's in college. She doesn't have a degree yet. So I'm thinking, who has the degree? I mean, I don't think your mom has a
No,
degree.
my mother didn't. She got it,
Street knowledge. I mean, the street game proper, right? Like, but when it comes to like you're supposed to get an education and all this, I don't think there was a lot of teaching. You
Yeah,
know,
I was pulling from people, around that time. It was imperative that I was involved in things. My mom
yeah,
made sure that I was involved in things, despite what was going on in like our personal environment.
yeah,
So, sports,
uh,
was a big catalyst, and the people who, cared enough to pour into their children, be around for those moments, whether they knew what they were doing or not. You could tell those who was like growing in the sport with us.
yeah,
They were students. So I pulled from different parents, different teachers.
yeah.
Um, Upper Bound was big. The Upper
And
Bound program for
I
me was,
forgot, bro. We've done so much in life. I forgot you were even in Upper Brown.
no, bro. I could never forget it, bro. That was my shift to aspiring to be to just be more.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? For myself personally, I could recall in class in eighth grade, the teacher asking the class, what they wanted to be when they grew up, and I was impressed by the students. I didn't even consider if they were lying or not. I was just impressed by them to answer.
Yeah.
answer with, some certainty
Yeah.
because I didn't know.
Wow.
You know, I love to sing, I love to dance, I love the entertainment industry, but I also love education. I love teaching in my own way. So there was a lot of things that I was interested in,
Yeah.
but I just didn't have the direction or didn't know what I should choose. So
That's fair.
I
How
provide.
do you navigate that space? Like when you're in that time period and you're looking at everybody going, they know, and you're like, yeah,
I don't even think I shared
got
that
it.
day. You know, I became reserved,
Yeah, yeah,
man. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Immediately, I didn't want that spotlight on me, so
Yeah.
I was afraid to say that I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, I felt in that moment, I felt like, damn, man, I'm in 8th grade. I need to get on my shit. Like, I need to know, bro. I'm a kid.
Yo, it was crazy as you just said something. I had this conversation. I went to a mental health conference and I was talking about like a lot of us, we have to grow up so fast that the statement you just said was like, yo, I should know. Or like I didn't know, like I'm in this place where it's like I need to get on my stuff, right? I need to get on my
Yeah,
shit. And you're in this place going, I need to get on it. And it's like, why am I having this conversation with myself as in 7th or
man.
8th grade? Like, I'm not even like, my brain is not fully developed. I'm not fully there yet. Like, why do you think you're in this place at 8th grade going like, I need to get on it? Like, where do you think that came from?
Bro, I don't know, man. It could be some pride, ego in there a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't, it was just, I just knew the company I kept.
Yeah.
When I moved from, I went to school early on. I went to Rankin Elementary. It's tore down now out
Yeah.
here in Akron. And but our conversation we weren't talking about stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't until I moved out to Kent, I changed my circle or my environment changed where they're already talking about what college they want to go to. Now it could be for silly reasons, like I heard North Carolina a lot. That's because Michael Jordan went to North
Yep.
Carolina and Duke, but I didn't even know these were colleges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was just not into that. I was running the streets early, so just the way some of my peers thought
Yeah.
and spoke, it was an influence on me, man. I wanted to just level up. I just wanted to get some polish on myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't
No,
know if that makes sense.
no, it makes perfect sense. You're trying to, it's like I said earlier, iron. It's sharpen. You're
Yeah.
going to constantly sharpen that iron, sharpen each other. And I think that season we were in, I'm always grateful that there's obviously moments where like, dang, I could have been in different cities where there was more athletes and all that. But I think that space that we came in because it was not a lot of Black people. I mean, you're talking about maybe
Yeah.
12 in my class, maybe 12 in your class.
Yeah.
I might be pushing it. I'm talking about in a school of maybe 12, 1300. We may make it to 60 Black
It
people.
was a small percentage
You know what I
for
mean?
sure, bro.
And being in that space, having to navigate, not only trying to figure our stuff out, but culture, being in the place where it's a definitely culture shock. Cause like it was early, but in 2nd grade, I moved from Cleveland. My mom went to Glenville. My family grew up and it's like,
Yeah.
no, we in places that's a lot of Black people. I'll be honest, the next neighborhood's not necessarily the safest neighborhoods.
No,
And
for real. You gotta
and
say that.
my mom moves me in 2nd grade for safety, but also to be educated at a different level because she felt like I needed it. And I'm always grateful to my mom for doing that because now we get around the friend group that we developed through high school
Yeah.
that is all like, yo, we do want to level up. We got friends that come from Pittsburgh. It ain't no different. Like, think about it. It's like, y'all also coming from very much,
Yeah.
similar places, similar
Yeah.
hoods.
Shout out to the Pittsburgh family. We
For
love you.
sure. We love y'all. Like honestly, because there's some core memory. Tell me if you remember this core memory going to Pittsburgh. Do you remember the store inside grandma's house to get the snacks? People coming up to get snacks
Yes.
and shopping.
That was in Garfield.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So we used to visit. He got friends, and his grandma was. But it was like, yo, I remember selling snacks in the school. Hey, I ain't got no money. Let me go buy these honey buns. I'm in 7th grade at Stanton, going into the school buying honey buns to resell them. My mom eventually catch winds of it, so now we going to Sam's Club buying them in bulk because I ain't had no money but those food stamps.
Yeah.
was about to help me get some
Steps came
funds
through.
because I needed sneakers and I needed track shoes that I couldn't afford. And so it's like trying to figure it out. And so I always, I'm thankful because it pushed me to a different level. I don't think I would be as successful if I didn't have things that made me go, you got to rise to the occasion,
Yeah, yeah.
which I'm grateful for. But I'm also sitting here going, we also heard some things that was like, they shaped us
Oh, for
as
sure.
men that challenged us in a way that like, I'm not sure. And I said this earlier with the sixth grade statement. I'm not sure at the age we were ready to hear. We should be hearing these things. I think they could have been challenges, but they also were some hindrance. So for instance, I remember, you know, I'm gonna say how they used to say it to me because it's real. It was yeah, a man don't work, don't eat. And
Yeah.
you can't be no broke in. You know what I mean? You can't be no good, you know, N word. Like growing up and hearing it, and I'm keeping it clean for the sake of people in the podcast. I would have just said it because that's what they would say. You can't be no good nigga. I'm gonna just say it. That's what they would
Ah,
say. You're gonna have to do that. And I think we watched the single mom trying to figure it out, but sometimes I was hearing things, bro, that for me made me go like, it was almost hard for me to accept me as a growing man because I was afraid, so afraid that I was gonna be no good. Like unintentionally, you were saying things that were like counterproductive to my upbringing. Like, ain't no good nigga around, ain't no
mhm.
good
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah.
And we hearing this, and I'm going, well, dang, like I'm in the house. What am I? Like I'm growing up. What am I? I'm not sure if you share a similar experience, but I certainly the mental strain it had on me, like in my development, was tough.
Yeah.
Just hearing things. I remember talking to my mom, like, and I'm gonna jump into a question and get you to dive in. I remember mom, just this was just 2 years ago. She said, "I never told you compliments about how you looked, because you were always in shape or you were always this." And I felt like the world was already telling you that you looked a certain way, so I never gave you that compliment. And I went, so I spent my whole life thinking I was a unattractive, unhealthy, no good type of dude because I never heard good words.
Oh, from you needed that from your
And
mother.
there was no affirmation. It was such like I gotta be hard to build him up, which helped. Thank God I had the tenacity to I'll go after it, but there's some triggers still like
Yeah.
based on some things that there's still some long lasting trauma for some words that was said. I don't think it was intentional. I just think they were living it, so I'm interested in what your journey was when it comes to like that upbringing and how did you navigate some of these spaces where you know we had to get through and I'll see where he goes because I know there's some stuff that we didn't been through that we had to walk through.
Yeah. My mom, man, she is very like she was a big impact on my life. Um, my pops passed. He was 19, 20 years old. He just
Wow.
yeah, 19, 20 years old. I was 15 months old,
Yeah.
and he had a brain. He ended up breaking his brain stem shadow boxing with a buddy, man, and hit the back of his neck on
Wow.
a curb. But my mom was 17,
Yeah.
17, 18. She just turned 18, May 4th. And that incident happened May 8th.
Yeah.
So I'm 15 months old. They got to pull the plug on my father. And I think that's what led my mom to making some of the decisions she made. That would be another interview for her to elaborate
No.
on. But
No. No.
I
That's
used to
it.
watch my mother, fast forward, I used to watch my mother talk to her. We'd be walking, we could barely keep a car,
Yeah.
but she would be walking and I would try to like have conversations with her, but she would be so deep into thought that her like lips would move. She'd be like talking to herself. Like now I know she was like seeing situations and just trying to analyze on how to make the right decision because I see myself doing that.
Yeah.
But but my mother, she struggled with addiction. So like growing up, man, I wasn't really trying to stay around the house too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm the oldest of four. So do as I say, not as I do was the motto.
Yeah.
That was always scary for me because if you see examples, man, then you'll just fall in line for the most
Hmm.
part. And she, even though there was things she was doing that were contradictory, she never lied to us in terms of the words. She meant what she said, do as I
Yeah.
say and not as I do. And we will suffer consequences if we did otherwise.
Yeah.
And that it it bred like I want to say a healthy fear for my mother. You know, I didn't want to disappoint her. The things she would complain about, my mom would do the similar thing. Niggas ain't shit.
Yeah.
But she'll follow up with trying to pour into me. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be a good man. So when you get a wife, my mom spoke that into my life, man.
Come on.
Yeah, I seen how to be a player, and I was gonna be a player for real, man.
Yeah.
And my mom did not accept that about me, man. She would
Wow.
always like speak that type of stuff into my life. Even if people outside of me would try to tear me outside of our circle would try to tear me down or speak ill will on us, she'd pull me aside and pour into me. So
Yeah.
I think that's where I get that from. When it comes to building up her people, especially my mom, she's no nonsense about that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you can see someone when they're trying to get themselves together, like how distracted they can
Yeah.
become. And
Yeah.
you can see when somebody's locked in, their focus is like laser focus, it's not spread. And when it specifically came to uplifting people and pouring into people, my mom, she can lock into that.
Right.
She'll be like laser focused. And I watch that time and time again. The lights off and she will wallow in her misery. Woe is me. You done smoked up the damn money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also seen where our back was so pushed to the wall that at some point it's fight or flight. And my mom is just a fighter,
Yeah.
flat out. And at some point, it got to the point where I would just sit and wait.
Hmm.
You know, it may not be any food in the house. We going to Sister Jordan's at the Center of Hope,
Yep.
you know, uh, eating dinner or lunch. And at some point, man, my mama just lock in, get in this mode. She'd get on the phone, and next thing you know, the gas is back on, the lights is on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what took place in order to make that happen, but I know it happened.
Right.
And that was the person,
Yeah.
that was the person I always focused on, not the other.
Yeah.
The other person in her valley so much. I always focused on that from the valley to that transition, that point always inspired me.
Yo, your ability to, at a young age, kind of like we use phrases like "don't throw the baby out with the bathwater" or eat the meat, throw out the bones.
Yeah.
Like your ability to go, nah, she's pouring into me. I know there's some parts of my mom that I can't, I'm not liking, or I feel like aren't fruitful. You smoked up the money. Like,
Hell yeah.
like that's an image of
Hell
like,
yeah.
yo, like you did that. That's an image. But you were able to go, but I still see my mom and she still poured in. And that's incredible to be able to disseminate that information in your own self to go, nah, I'm gonna move this way. Uh, and it turns into you're a husband. It turns you into that. I'm interested, like you walked through a father passing, and so much of your life, you're having to find dudes
Yes.
to mentor you because there really isn't a male around. I'm very similar in a sense that I've I got this speech maybe a few years back where I was talking through, yo, I got 10 daddies. And it's I say it in a way so you realize, not fathers. So this is not the person who birthed me. This is not the person who created and made me, but I had to find father figures that became dads in my life. Not that I call everybody dad, but they became the men that taught me different things and at different levels of my stages of my life, I had to like go, who could fit this what I need right now? There are people like Hawk, who we in high school and he's teaching. Nah, you gotta grind. You gotta want more for yourself. I can't let you quit. Like, nah, like this can't happen. There is the Drew is the first male I'm around who also coaches us in track. Great coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's the first person that made me really think about academics.
Really?
I'm sitting there studying for ACTs with him. I'm sitting there going, this is how you study. Him and his wife at that time are the first people who make me go, you have to actually cherish this knowledge. Not that my mom, I don't think my mom, when you said your mom that do as I say, not as I do, I'm raised up very similar. And that's why you hear me say, I love that my mom always, she didn't say, I can't go to college.
Yeah.
You're going to get a scholarship.
You got to take it.
You're going. That's not even the question. You're going to college. I don't know how to walk you towards that direction, but I know how to get you some people in your life. And she was always good. I mean, being in like place like Peck School and where I'm learning Swahili and all these programs. I'm in Upper Bound where you got to be the first generation student. I think she did a really good job trying to put me in the right spaces.
That's it. Get out the way.
Get out the way.
I'm gonna get out.
Because I don't have all the information, and I'm gonna help you. And I think I was always trying to find the guys because I didn't have that around me. I only have aunts. Like I don't have a bunch of uncles that I could call. So there's my aunties. And so the hard part about that, like I said, is that it's just the women talking. And so for me, a lot of times it was me trying to navigate my own masculinity, navigate what it means for me to be a man. And first time I ever heard that you're the man of the house, I'm 5 years old, man. I'm the man of the house and I'm not even 5, right? Yeah. Which is that statement is like bonkers to me. Like as an adult, I'm like, what 5-year-old needs to be saying that you're a man of the house? I don't even think that's a phrase we should be telling kids. Like before you even have a chance to develop, you're a man. And that comes out in so many ways. When you think about the police and the judicial system, Black men are already seen as men. They're in middle and high school. Yeah. No, he a man. And this is already, we do it in ourselves. We perpetuate it in our culture where it's like, a man, no,
threat.
Yo, a man or a threat, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking going like, it was so early I had to be a man that I was questioning like, well, who's showing me that? I got a dad that's around.
Yeah.
I got to figure this out. Like, I feel like this thought that you got to figure out how to be a man was such a high, like, goal for me that I was constantly going like, what you do can. I think sometimes you go, you can't learn. You can't learn from people. I got some dudes that's been in my life and it was coming. I got some dudes in my life who created a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
There is some trauma that my brother's father brought to my life, to my family's life. However, I don't think I would have been as good as track athlete if he wasn't in my life. The way we woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning to go train while people were sleeping, and he was taking me there, next level. I don't know if I ever told you this, because at States, when I'm at States, there's 2 things that happen at States. Really 3. There's 3 men's voices. One, I'm not even gonna say you're a man because you're 17. I can't even call you a man. But 3 males' voices that actually helped me to reach one of the highest things in my career. And that's Drew going, I've never seen you like this. Like, you aren't meeting the bar that you set for yourself. I don't know what this is. What was that? Maybe I should stop coaching you because what showed up here isn't what you has established for yourself.
At States, he said that?
At States.
Prelims?
This is the first round. I run the worst 200 I've ran in the entire season. I made the finals in the 100. But the 200, I was so distracted.
Got you.
So overwhelmed with the moment. But this is why we're talking about men. I'm like, I'm doing this long tangent to go, men are important. It's like the man I surrounded him was important because he was going, No, he knew how to talk something to my head that was like, no, this ain't you. So he talked, this isn't you. I get a phone call from my best friend,
That's
my
why he
teammate,
called me. Okay.
not knowing he had called you to go, you're going to push something in him that I can't. And you got on the phone and said, hey, man, I didn't realize you were scared like that. I didn't realize that those boys from Glenville could shake you. I'm confused that you are that scared of them. Whoa. Now it's the second person telling me like, yo, like you are not meeting who you are. This is confusing to us.
Yeah.
And the person who, like I said, he caused a lot of trauma, family history due to the way he moved. But I get to go to the hotel. I'm processing all the things you said. And I go, hey, I need to go to the track. I'm going back to what worked. I'm at a track at 4 o'clock in the morning of states. First of all, let's be clear.
Wow.
This is not smart, y'all. If you should not be practicing the day of a track meet. Let's be clear. That's not smart. I ran a full practice at 4 a.m. I trained from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. the day of a track meet. So if anybody ever wonders why my time was slow, I went 10-8 instead of what I could have ran. I was whooped. I trained. It was just fortunate that I was able to jump out really well and put myself in a position to win. But that third dude was the dude going, what do you need?
You was fresh from some time travel, man.
that was it. But those three men, the males who came in that moment is an image that for like me, you constantly have the people you surround yourself with that are healthy. But as a dude, there's nothing wrong with like having relationships. I think with women, I see this a lot when I was working in middle school, where it's like everybody's seeking out the women, like the boys, because their mothers have been a safe space. The dudes have not been safe in their life. And so for me, I think I spent a lot of my time seeking men to create a safe space so that I could feel safe to grow into what I need to be. I'm interested, as I talk about all that, how did you find the men in yours to help you through that journey?
Man, I was always, before I even knew to call it frequency, man, I was always paying attention to how men vibrated
Yeah.
in men that I encountered. You have a more intimate experience with your brother's father.
Yeah.
I just so happened to come in, if you ask me, I just so happened to come in you guys' life after he was trying to heal.
Yeah.
So I noticed that I'm 40 years old now. I noticed that about me when I show up in people's lives.
Yeah.
Sh- And usually men, man, they have been through something traumatic or they were a completely different version of themselves
Yeah.
that I wouldn't even mess with. You know what I mean? But now they're in this space and I just so happen to meet them at this space of healing and you know what I mean? When they're working on themselves, to grow and evolve, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I again, that do as I say and not as I do.
Yeah.
Anything you said, man, I was kind of going beyond your words and looking. Now I know I'm looking for the authority and the power.
Wow.
In your in what it is that you say. So in order to even possess the authority and the power, you have to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be those things that you
That's
say.
good.
And from what I saw, this is before I found out about anything, but from what I saw and believed, he was practicing what he was preaching.
Yeah.
And I was naive enough as a child. That's one thing about being a kid, man. They're naive.
Yeah.
But it can work. It could be in their best interest. You know what I mean? I was just naive enough to believe everything he said. He said, do you want more out of this? I saw you guys in the stands drinking Pepsis, talking to the girls. Y'all wasn't stretching. Y'all wasn't doing that. And then you go out and blow people out the water. Do you want to go to States?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was.
Right.
And you like it. it's the highest honor in this sport.
Yeah.
One of the highest honors. Do you want to reach it? Yeah. He's like, if you do, it's like, I'm telling you, all you need to do is one thing. I said, one thing, listen.
Wow.
So all you need to do is listen.
Wow.
I got it from there,
Yeah.
and I believed him.
Yeah.
And he pulled up in front of my house at 5
In the
a.m.
morning, the train.
and we went to the wellness center to train,
Yep.
and our gas was off, so we went to the school to
Shower.
shower before everybody
Never
came.
got there. We sneak into the back of the school while
Yeah,
swim practice was on.
yeah. So he's
Yep.
he's from the struggle that I was from. He was familiar with some of the things that my family was going through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just naturally was open, you know what I mean, to really
Yeah.
hearing what he had to say. It was safe.
Yeah.
He knows.
He does.
So uh, fast forward, that's how, like, Upper Bound, Mr. Finney, this guy named Timothy Finney, some of my mentors, Quasi,
Yeah.
it was a lot of dudes, man. Even some of my peers that came from where I came from, we was just pulling from each other,
Right.
sharing, bro. We would have intimate conversations like this. And we just sharing, bro. I remember visiting my uncle, man. He was locked up. And he was talking to me just about, you know, uh, what type of man I should be. And one of the instructions he gave me was to protect my sisters.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of four. I got two sisters and a brother. And the time of the visit was up, so he couldn't really give me instructions on how to do that.
Yeah.
But it was clear, protect your sisters. So I just went about that the best way I could.
Yeah.
And I remember Drew. Uh, this is around the time where my sisters, they're developing into young women, and Drew goes, "Hey, we were in the parking lot of
Mm-hmm.
Summit Gardens." He goes,
The
"Hey,
garden.
hey, man, why do you try to scare every dude away
Right.
that approaches your sister? That shows interest in your sisters." And I was like, that was kind of a silly ass statement.
Yeah.
I got to protect my sisters. Then he goes, well, why don't you, you can, like, show them. You have to show them who's good, who's a good guy and who isn't.
Right.
And when he said that, that shit just, that's actually, to me, I just stopped in my tracks.
Yeah.
And I scanned. I went one of my, like, little Rolodex, man, the guys that I knew, man, and
Yeah.
I just scanned. And I believe that I hung out with some good guys, man. But I also know some of the bullshit we do behind closed doors
For
as
sure.
well.
For sure.
So I'm like, damn. And it just got to a point where I'm like, damn, man, I don't know who I would. And then I started to look inward,
Yeah.
and it was like, I have to be this.
Yeah.
If I have to really show them, what a good man is, I actually have to be this because I spend the most time with them out of any other man.
Yeah.
And that changed. That's what I think really started to shift my perspective about how I looked at myself. What I wanted for myself became more clear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the start of my journey to be a little more intentional
What's
uh,
up?
with some decisions that I was making
Yeah.
and how I walked along my journey, man. Definitely with some distractions, but I just wasn't out here like a leaf in the wind anymore
Right.
either. You know
Right.
what I mean? So no sooner than I had that conversation, I do get into a dispute and altercation, whatever, and I end up getting suspended, and they
Yeah.
tried to expel me.
Yeah.
I'm fresh off of states, and my principal is really trying to sell me a perspective of staying into alternative school
Right.
and never coming back, giving up track, giving up basketball, prom,
Yeah.
anything that I was building toward. He was trying to sell me on this perspective to throw all of that away.
Yeah.
It would be much better if I stayed in alternative school. And he brought up my grades. My grades showed that I wasn't a good student. My grades showed that I wasn't smart, but that wasn't the case at all. It was discipline
Yeah.
in that area, and just the work ethic.
Right.
That was it, man. And when he told me, when he tried to sell me on that perspective, and he brought my grades to try to prove his point, my grades to try to prove his point. He said, man, you can't get less than a C.
Right.
I said, less than a C, that's easy. He's, well, with your points, you can really only afford to get one C. And I said, okay. I was willing to take on the challenge.
Yeah.
And I executed.
Yeah.
All the A's, B's, and I think I had one C.
Hey, you should have told no C's. You
I got no C's.
It was the bar set. There it is.
So yeah, man, I ended up graduating.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a track offer.
Yeah.
And but I had to sit at the red shirt because my grades was ass, bro.
Yeah.
So I didn't take the offer. I just decided to go to the University of Akron.
Yeah.
And that was a struggle because, I had every intentions on going to school.
Yeah.
I didn't have, it's like we said we were going to states.
Yeah.
But we never said we were going to win states.
It's fair.
So we went to states. We prepped to go to states. We made it. But we got disqualified.
Yep.
For the finals. And that's how it was in college. I worked to get to college, but it was never in my mind to graduate from college, from the 4-year institute. So once I got there, I felt like I made it. And now I'm a leaf in the wind again. I'm trying to find out what the hell I want to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I'm speeding through all of this.
You're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
But it wasn't until I got my academic probation letter.
Yeah.
That it scared me. I worked this job called Saint Cobain the summer before I went to college. And they made brake lines for semis.
Yep.
It was this old lady, man. She was like in her 80s. Yep. She had a humpback and she put these lines in this mold and you press the button and it'll tape them. You got to press them 3 times and go down the line. So she showed me how to do this. Press the button, tape it up. Press it again, pull it out and throw it in the bin. She goes, that's one. And she goes, you need to do 80 of them before your shift is out. I'm like, that's so easy. Man.
Yeah.
That shit just took 60 seconds. That ain't nothing. But I remember it was just mundane, man. The routine of working at that warehouse was mundane. When we went to lunch, people were segregated. It was folks there for 40 plus years working with their big ass Fred Flintstone lunch boxes, boots. And this has been their life. Right. 4 years. Right. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. Right. But I knew what I didn't want. And that was that.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Yeah. And I'll go quick with this one because I think the difference between my sophomore year and my junior year is sophomore year, we didn't say we were going to win. Junior year, going to my junior year, I said I was going to win.
Yeah.
It was all over my wall. On my wall, if you'd have walked in my room, it had my 100-meter time on the wall, my 200-meter time on the wall, state champ on the wall.
Yeah.
So when that happened as a junior, I was like, well, I didn't even celebrate it. And people were like, yo, like, what'd you feel when you finished? I was just like, I walked up like, yeah, thank you, Lord. That's what I expected.
Yeah.
There was I think this speaks to the power of your mental, because your mentality, all the things you just said was, I didn't have a thought here. What's interesting is the thought that you had is, I'm gonna be a husband. You met your wife sophomore, junior year in high school.
Yeah.
So by the time you're a junior, you're in your mind already, you're like, yeah, I'm going to be a husband. And it's funny. You're like, yeah, I like discipline here, here, and here. And I'm like, yeah, because the thing that you said your mom spoken to you very early was you're a husband.
Yeah, I was clear on that. That was one of the things that I wanted from my life.
Yeah.
So after that conversation I had with Drew in the parking lot, I started the change. That shit really like impacted me.
Right.
And I met my wife not long after that conversation,
Yeah,
man, I
yeah,
wanna say a couple months afterwards, our paths didn't even naturally cross
for sure.
in that building. Then all of a sudden she started popping up.
Yep, yep.
So, she turned me down before in the 8th grade. You know, she was with this white dude, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, "Man, all these white dudes trying to take our sisters."
yeah, yeah.
That was the wrong attitude,
Right.
man. I got shot down, but, late fast forward to when I did, shoot my shot.
Yeah,
She gave me her number, man, and I knew that in order to keep even keep a woman like that, so I was thinking at
yeah,
16 that I couldn't stay the same,
right,
so, I knew I wasn't ready
right.
for the vision that I had. I knew that, damn, I got some growing to do,
Yeah,
but I was willing to this shit may sound selfish because some people say, "Man, I ain't ready yet, so Imma let that opportunity pass and then
yeah,
leave it up to fate," but I wasn't willing to give that a
yeah, yeah.
chance, man. I knew that I was gonna fall
Right.
along the way, but I was gonna make sure I fell forward.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
this is now for my men. The whole reason, the main point is It's Father's Day. It's around that time period, and it's been 25 years of relationship.
Yeah.
It's been 16 years of marriage. You've been a father, you've been a husband, and you never saw it. Like, think about that concept of I'm doing something I've not s I didn't see it. My mom certainly didn't show me that.
Yeah.
The people around me didn't necessarily always show that. Drew did some talking to you, he helped you, but for the majority of your life, that's not something you saw. So when you get to this age, you're going through life and you're reflecting right now. One, I got 2 things. I got a thought. You said this to me on another podcast. We did it for my brother years ago, and you said being married is choosing to be a student for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Talk to me and talk to really us as a father, as a husband, the things that you had to like shift from survival mode learning to building you up to where you are now.
Ooh. So, like you, I was surrounded by women. Love, bro. I really learned how to love,
Yeah.
like, from women, from that was my first, lesson on how to love is through from my women. I got some strong women in my family.
Yeah.
My uncles wouldn't come into my life until I'm a young man, 18, 19 is
Yeah.
when we rekindle. My grandfather, he checks out early. So yeah, the women, I was holding on to a lot of the things they were pouring into me. But man, meeting men along the way in the time that I did, men taught me to stand on principle and
Yeah.
not allow my emotions to dictate
Yeah.
my decisions. So I definitely read a lot,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I had to read a lot of books and stuff like that, but only after men poured into me. Barber College was big because it was majority men. I think we had 2 women
Yeah.
in Barber College. It was nothing but men in there from all different walks of life. Some of them was incarcerated,
Wow.
and made it out. But man, the jewels and the gems that they had about life and how to navigate life
Yeah.
and how to manage and govern yourself as a man, that shit made such an impact to me.
Yeah.
A lot of things I heard, a lot of things I heard and implemented. There were certain things I heard, but I hadn't implemented.
Right.
Like one of them was finances. I remember this dude, Gerald, pulled me aside and was like, hey man, this is when haircuts was $20. And man, you make $20, go ahead and pay you first. Go ahead and put you $4 up
Yeah.
a haircut. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't trained to think like that. You
Right.
know what I mean? We live off of the government
Right.
and
Right. Whole life.
shit. So that was a skill that I hadn't developed yet. I heard him,
Right.
but I didn't implement it until
Until later.
later on in my
Yeah.
life, bro. And but it don't necessarily mean it was true or not. But it was,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It was something that I definitely had to revisit just being used to being paycheck to paycheck and
Right.
shit like that. But no, man, God has always placed a man in my life at a special time.
Right.
Like I said earlier, where I always came at a point where men was always trying to I call it rebrand themselves. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
They lived one way beforehand, and now they put away childish things, and they're on a rise to really operate in their godliness. That's when I always like
Yeah.
met my mentors. You know what I
Wow.
mean? When I was
Yeah.
going on journeys too.
Yeah. It,
Uh,
it, it almost, it's almost like you've been taught to rebrand before you broken because you were
mm,
always coming in contact with people who were rebranding. Now you are living a life where it's like, I'm not trying to rebrand myself. I'm just trying to live it in a
yeah,
way that's healthy.
yeah. I mean, I'm always looking to grow, man,
Yeah.
develop. You know, our doors open here at the shop in October 2nd of
Come on.
2025.
Yeah.
But we still growing. You look at the wall, man. There's barely anything on this
Yeah.
damn
Yeah.
wall. So we still adding and we still developing and growing. I don't think that'll ever stop. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To your point of being married is it's like just being a forever student.
Yeah.
I'm a father. My daughter just turned 18 on the 2nd of May.
Yeah.
Just had a graduation party
Come
last
on.
Sunday. She got a scholarship for the University of Akron that
Come
she'll
on.
be attending this fall. But I'm learning how to like father and lead this young lady, this young woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that shit it looks different now. They 18, so she grown now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
she tested me in certain areas,
Right.
man, where I could puff my chest up like a peacock and
Right.
say some fly shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But at this point, man, it's fly, birdie, fly.
Yeah.
So I make myself available. Always let her know that I'm available. Take my mother's approach. Anytime along my journey, man. My mom do this to me even today. I'm 40. She gonna drop some truth on you,
Yeah.
and you do what you want to do with it. I can't make you do shit. And with that being said, I kind of, if you wise, that'll check you.
Yeah.
That'll stop you, in your tracks,
Right.
and have you like analyze yourself. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so I do a lot of analyzing and not what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of reflecting. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's cool that you mentioned the whole reason why we even doing it in this barbershop is because I wanted the ability to walk through a journey of me when I'm in seventh, you're eighth, we're 13, 12, 13, 14 years old, and watching the journey. We've talked through multiple stories, the having to take showers at the school because your gas off and my water off, and we've went through survival to developing through different areas of trauma. You certainly, to have a father who dies early and have to navigate that trauma. For me to have to face very tough situations that involve family level molestation that brings a child, that breaks a family, trauma, things happening that were traumatic, but walking through all that, surviving it, seeking help, and now I'm smiling as two lifelong friends are both entrepreneurs in our different spaces. I still remember, uh, and I still think I think I'm accurate when I say this. I believe I'm the first person to ever pay you for a haircut. I believe outside in the garden, I am one of the first few
you
people to give you $1 for a haircut.
you might be right about.
I,
You might be right
I'm a
about
still,
that.
I,
Well, you know what? No, you're the first person uh you're the first person I would say who set my bar higher than what
yeah,
and it was all about knowing my worth.
Yeah, for sure.
So you was the first person who set my bar higher than what I I was a product of my environment. I
Yeah.
just, if everybody was charging $10, then I was getting it for $10. But it wasn't until, you had left and experienced other bigger markets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you were sharing with me your experience in their chair, um, and then hitting me off and just fuck the price, whatever was on the board, but you gave me what you felt that I really deserved, bro. That changed.
Wow.
That made an impact on me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And there were people that was pouring into me beforehand
Yeah, yeah.
from different areas and cultures,
Yeah, yeah.
but you know, to have you, somebody that I know, be like, no, it's this.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
that was always what your mom tell you. Get in, don't get in where you fit in. Get in where you want to be. I never
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah. I remember
I
that.
never
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Where you want to be.
And when you said that, that was like you living that out.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I'm gonna make this shit.
Hey, I've always said like it's cool. Come like, yo, like there's moments where I still get emotional. I walk through a door here going, I know the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When I get to talk to friends, I'm going like, yo, like, yeah, I started a mental health practice. And that joint's scary. There's moments where we have a conversation where it's like, got a payroll, got things to pay, got offices, and that becomes something that can be scary. But I wanted to do it in your space so we can one just go like, this has been a journey and a pleasure to like do this journey. But I also wanted to make sure we understood as we talk in grounded talks and we are talking the things we come here, real life balance. And to do mental health well, it doesn't look like always giving you all these therapeutic terms.
yeah,
The reason why I even created grounded talks and did it this way was to go, I wanted the ability to go, can I be real? Can we talk through how we navigate it without, I could teach you the language later. I could teach you the lingo later, but there is some conversations in our Black space that we won't even talk about. We haven't created a safe space. So, I mean, as we're closing, as we're in Raashan's barbershop, I'm actually want him to give his barbershop name because we want to make sure we have a chance to even post him. He's right here in the Elliott area, but go ahead and tell us about where you're at for people who are watching this, how they can find you, how they can connect with you and all that.
528 Canton Road, Akron, Ohio. Come and check us out. Me and my man Twitty, Big Twit, man.
So
Sweet D,
right?
in that Elliott area, man. Eastgate Plaza.
Yeah. Hey, we are doing real life talks for actual life balance. The goal is not for you to run away from mental health, but you to be safe as you do mental health. And as it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, my challenges to my men, I hope you have taken the time to find someone safe to talk to. Maybe it's some childhood trauma that you need to learn to navigate. A therapist is a great person to do that with. Maybe it's some male trauma and some dad issues you got to learn to navigate. A therapist can help you with that. But even more than that, finding someone that can help sharpen you, finding someone that can help you have an authentic relationship and walk you through and navigate through life with you is important. Who you surround yourself with matter. And so my challenge for today was to make sure we talk, but also to point you back to some space where you can find some safety with some people you could talk to, someone you can actually be honest with to start working through the things that you need to work through in your health. But until next time, y'all be good, be safe. It's always a pleasure to talk mental health with you. Have a good one.